What is going on, everybody, man? Welcome to night one. It's really just like an introduction to what we're going to be going over. Today, I want to go over, mindset. I want to go over psychologicals. I want to go over what you could expect. I want to go over kind of like what you need to get to where you want to be and all that good stuff. Tomorrow, we're going to break down the strategy very in depth. It's going to be a lot longer than this one. We're also going to be going over the indicators and all that good stuff tomorrow. It's going to be crazy. So today I do want to do a Q&A, and I want to introduce kind of what we're going to be doing here. Okay. So first things first, you guys know who I am, obviously. I've been trading for quite some time now, on and off camera. Before I was on camera, I was still trading for 3 years. I would say 2 years unsuccessful, 1 year successful off camera. Then when I started to film and do all that good stuff, then I became obviously more successful. Now, one thing I want to mention to you guys, and you guys have probably heard it a million times, and I'm going to say the same thing to you guys again. Trading Forex is 80% psychology. I know everybody hates hearing it. It's not what you want to hear, but it is the honest truth. The strategy itself that I'm going to give you, it works. You're not going to need to look for another strategy anywhere else ever. It's just not going to be necessary. But you got to understand that you have to develop your psychology. Now, to develop your psychology, and let me see if I can get a here. Okay. And to develop your psychology, you have to be able to not only adapt in different situations in the markets, but you got to be able to be mentally strong in the sense of understanding there's losses. It's Forex, you're going to lose, but not allowing those losses to overwhelm you or change the way you trade. Now, with the strategy that I'm going to give you, you got to be consistent. You got to stick to it. So sometimes you might not win. You might lose that day. It's okay to have a losing day. You come back the next day and you trade again. What you can't do is take a couple losses in a row, have a couple of days of losing, and allow that to dictate how you're going to trade moving forward, dependent upon don't let your losses change your lot sizes, your risk percentage, your mindset. Don't let it change anything. One thing about the strategy is you have to be consistent in the sense of you have to continue to do the same thing every day. You look for the same pattern every day, use the same indicator every day. You do the same thing every day. But what I need you guys to understand is that not every day is the strategy going to work. And yes, it's an amazing strategy. It's the only strategy that I use. You still have to have losing days because the markets are not always going to be the same. Now, one thing I love about my strategy in particular is that it allows you to trade one session, or if you want to trade 2 sessions, that's fine. But I prefer you trade one session when the volume's at its height. Now, I like to trade GBP/JPY and I like to trade NASDAQ. It's the only 2 I recommend you guys trade. I'm going to teach you guys how to trade those 2. So don't go around trading other, pairs after. You stick to these 2. NASDAQ is going to be traded at 6:30 a.m. Pacific time on most days, sometimes a little bit before that. But at 6:30 a.m. Pacific time, that is when the volume kicks in for the NASDAQ markets. Now, I like to trade this Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. You can't trade it Sunday because the markets aren't open at 6:30 a.m. because the markets don't open until 2 p.m. Pacific time. GBP/JPY is during London session around 12 o'clock at night, PST, every single night is when I trade GBP/JPY. It never changes. Sometimes I'll trade 11:55, 11:40. It could be 20 minutes before the session starts, and that's because the setup is already there and there's a lot of volume. The way we're going to be trading, you have to have a lot of volume. You want volume, you want movements in the markets. You cannot trade the strategy if the markets are not moving. Anytime the markets are not moving, you just don't trade that day, especially if there's consolidation, no volume, news events coming out, whatever the case may be, just don't trade those days. Okay. Now, let me make sure you guys can hear me. I don't want to. You guys can obviously hear me, you can let me know on Discord. There is no chat for this. I'll do Q&As. Don't worry about it. But if you guys can hear me, let me know on the Discord so I know. Okay, that's all I needed to see was just one. Yeah. Okay, cool. You guys can hear me. Okay. Now, we talked about the sessions. We talked about being consistent, continuing to trade the same strategy every single day. If you can consistently trade the same exact way every single day, it's going to be nearly impossible to lose. Now, what makes traders lose, what causes traders to become unsuccessful trading, is what happens right here mentally. Now, a lot of traders will take an L. 95% of traders will take an L, and it'll affect them some way mentally. What you have got to be able to do is take your loss, understand, okay, we're pushing again. I'll enter one more time. If that doesn't happen, you got to stop. When the next day comes around, because you lost twice the day before, you do not put a higher lot size. You don't risk more. Don't go crazy. You do the same thing. You got to now understand that because you're using 1 to 4s, right? Because we're going to be doing 1 to 4 risk to reward every single day. You got to understand that, okay, we're trading a 1 to 4. We had 2 losses yesterday. Let's say we lose again today. We call it a day. Well, if the next day we do the exact same thing and we win, you're profitable. You had 2 losing days, 3 losing trades, 1 winner, and you're profitable because that 1 winner is 4 times 1 loser. 4 is greater than 3. You had 3 losses, but that 1 win is worth 4 of those losses. You're profitable. Always remember that going forward, and always remember to continuously do the same thing every single day. You never change. Don't change. Don't risk more. Keep the same account. Keep going, and you're going to see growth. And it's going to happen fast. You're going to realize like, wow, this works, but you have got to stay consistent. You can't let your mind take over. You can't change your lot sizes and fuck up. You can't do it. Okay. Now, here's another thing for you guys to understand. And this is kind of like the withdrawing aspect. Okay. When it comes to withdrawing, there's a couple of things you want to know. You have got to withdraw. Okay. That's how you make your money. If you don't withdraw, you didn't make a single dollar. If it doesn't ever hit your bank, you didn't make it. Like it's irrelevant. It's like winning the lottery and then losing the ticket. There's nothing you can do. It's gone. So when it comes to withdrawing, I like to stick to a certain number. Okay. So if you want to make, let's say you want to make $3,000 a month. Okay. You want to make $3,000 a month, give or take. This strategy can yield you 50% above, honestly, but I'm gonna say around 50% profit on your account each month. Okay. Here's the thing. If you have $100,000 account, $1 million account, well, then you're not going to go for 50% profit. But let's say you have $1,000 account, a $10,000 account even. Well, then I do recommend you shoot for that 50% profit area. The reason being is when you pretty much are going to risk 3%, 5% at the most per trade, but you're going to aim for 15 to 20% wins, right? Because you're going 4 times on the wins. Meaning if you have a perfect week, 5 trades in a row, and they all hit your TP4 area, your not really your TP4 area, but your 1 to 4 risk to reward area, well, then you literally potentially, if you're risking 5% per trade, could have done 20, 40, 60, 80, 100% gains on your account just in 1 week because you're shooting for 15 to 20% gains per trade. Same thing with, you take a few losses, but you take more wins. Maybe you gain 30% in 1 week, whatever the case may be. Bottom line is the strategy that I'm giving you guys is going to get you guys 30 to 50% per month on your account. So let's say you want to make $3,000 every single month. Well, with this strategy, you would need a $6,000 account to potentially go around that $3,000 area and profit. So you have to tell yourself, what do you want to make a month? How fast do you want to make it? If you want to make $3,000 a month and that's all you need and you're good, well, then you get yourself a $6,000 account, or you start small and you grow your way to a $6,000 account. But when you do have that $6,000 account, you can continuously withdraw that 3 grand in profit you're making every month. If your goal is to make $10,000 a month, well, then you probably need maybe a $25,000 account. And at the same term, instead of, obviously you're not just going to start with 25K. Let's say you start with 3K. Well, then maybe you hold off on withdrawing until you have a $25,000 account. And once you get to that level, that 25K level you want to get to, so you can make your 10K a month, then you start to withdraw each month. But it really is dependent on what you want to make. Again, assume 50% gains on whatever size account you have that's below, 50 to 100K. And then tell yourself, what is your goal? You want to make 10K a month? Well, then you're going to need a 25K account, which means maybe you shouldn't withdraw until you get there. Okay, that's all I'm trying to say. Now, I understand a lot of you guys don't have a lot of money to trade with, and the strategy that you're going to be getting, it's a very simple but effective breakout strategy. And with this strategy, what you're going to get is, really the possibilities are endless, but you're going to get a strategy that allows you to grow $20, $100, $1,000. It doesn't matter what you have, you're going to grow. Now, using this strategy, let's say you have a $100 account, you can do a lot more than 50% in a month because it's such a smaller account. You don't have to worry about if you lose the whole thing. In a sense, obviously you don't want to lose the whole thing. But if you have a $100 account, and let's say that's not that much to you, which is you throw $100 in there, maybe you risk 15% per trade. Maybe you risk $15 a trade, and on each win, you're going to catch pretty much 60%. When you're going to make about $60 every single win, get a few wins in a row, you doubled your account within just a couple of days. Okay. There's a lot of different ways to go over it, but what I'm going to do for you guys is give you guys a strategy that's going to allow you to dictate whatever you choose what you want to do. You guys are going to be able to choose how much you want to risk, but I'm going to give you a strategy that works. And as long as you don't over risk and you start risking, 20, 30% on each trade, you're going to be fine, because those winners are they're going to do really well for you, because the average risk to reward is 1 to 4. Okay. So again, your winners are going to take over the losers by a lot. Okay. And that's how they do it for me. And, I'll have days where I'll lose 12, 20 grand, but then I'll have days where I make 130 grand. And it's like, okay, I can go lose 10 trades now and I'm good. So a lot of cool stuff like that, man, with this strategy. Let's get into some Q&A. I want to know some questions. It does not have to be related to it can be whatever you want to ask. Go ahead and ask. Okay. Go ahead and go to the Q&A section. On the bottom of the screen, I believe. I've never been in somebody's webinar or asked questions, but I'm just assuming that that's where it would be. And I'll wait for you guys to ask a few questions. Okay, so the first question I have is, how can we pass an FTMO challenge with this strategy? So, it's going to be the same concept. Everything's going to be the same concept as trading on a regular account, trading it on a FTMO account. It really doesn't matter. So if you're starting your challenge, right, and they want you to make 10% of your account, this is really, honestly, it explains itself, but you should be hitting that probably within the first few days, maybe a week at the most. Like, you should be done the first 3 days. Nothing changes. Absolutely nothing changes. It's the same concept. You just trade it how I say, and you're profitable. I don't know how to really answer that one. Bro, just want to say thank you. I'm legally blind and you made me profitable by keeping it simple. Okay, that's what I like to hear. And what do you do to find the perfect setups, and how do you deal with waiting? What do you do in the meantime? Um, so first of all, in the meantime, there's not really a meantime because again, we're going to be trading based off of sessions. You're going to wait till your session is there. Meaning, if we're trading Nasdaq, you wait till 6:30 when volume picks up, and then you watch the markets. Now, the other 20 hours out of the day, you do whatever you want. You're going to have a good time making money and spending money, whatever the case may be. But when it comes to waiting for your setups, we're scalping. So it's happening pretty fast. I would say usually by 6:30, I'm in a trade. If not, I'm probably in a trade within 20 minutes of that because volume's going so fast. It's very rare that I wait past 6:30-ish to trade. Like there is almost never anything to do in the meantime because it's so active. We'll get into that, but just understand that we are scalping and these trades are taking place within 20 minutes and sometimes within an hour or two. It just depends, but very fast trading. Which take profit do you exit most of the times on GJ? So this is more of like a signal room question. So the question here is pretty much, when it comes to the take profits, when am I exiting? I like to go for a 1 to 4. So that'd be take profit 4. I'm risking 10 pips on my stop loss, and I'm pretty much aiming for 50 pips on the take profit. Now with this, if I'm around a 1 to 3, I'll probably move my stop loss to a 1 to 2 area. And once I hit that 1 to 4, I'm closing. Or if I'm at a 1 to 2 area, well, then I'll probably put stops to break even. But that's kind of how I like to do it. What was your breakthrough moment and how did you get there? For me, I didn't have like a breakthrough moment where it was just like, boom, it didn't happen fast. It was actually a slow process. What I realized is that becoming successful in any business typically doesn't happen overnight. And it's something that's so subtle, however you say it, and so slow that you don't realize that it's happening. It kind of just happens slowly. And then one day you're kind of just like, wow, I made 5 grand this month trading. That's awesome. I'm going to withdraw it. And that's awesome. And then you just continuously do so and it just grows. But there's not really like an overnight feeling. It kind of just happens so slow and gradual. At least in my case. Um, no, that's not right. Okay. What is your opinion about funded accounts? So my personal opinion on funded accounts is they're great. Do I recommend everybody gets a funded account? Not in particular, no, because a lot of people like to control their own capital. You don't like to run the risks of a funded account or funded company screwing you. Don't pay you because you made too much and they don't want to pay out of their pocket, which happens all the time with even the big names. Um, a lot of people have 5 grand to trade with it. They can turn that into 2,500 profit in 1 month, right? And they can turn that 7,500 into 5 grand the next month. If you can build your capital up to 25, 50 grand, you're going to make so much money trading on your own. You don't have to pay, that 15%, whatever they keep, plus the risk of them not paying you. So a lot of horror stories when it comes to funded. Obviously, there's still stories with brokers as well, but I've heard a lot more stories with the funded groups that aren't paying people out. That it concerns me. Now, when it comes to what the funded companies are able to do for people, they can be amazing. FTMO in particular, I haven't heard a lot of bad stuff from. I've heard a couple stories, but it was higher amounts, 100K withdrawal, stuff like that. But I haven't heard too much. And again, these might not be real stories. I mean, they could be lies. People say stuff all the time. So FTMO, I think is a good option. I think that FTMO pays everybody out. And I think it's good if you can go that route as well. But I think you should mix it up. I think you should go to FTMO, get funded, get some capital, and then add it to a real account because it's better when you can control your own capital. Um, How long did it take you to perfect your psychology? I know everyone is different. Um, Psychology is tough. Psychology is very tough. A lot of people can't, and I don't want to have to say this because I know a lot of you guys don't want to hear this, but a lot of people can't become Forex traders successfully because of psychology. 85% of people, maybe 90% of people will come into this industry and fail because their psychology. It had nothing to do with their strategy. The strategy probably worked. What didn't work was losing and then risking more than you should have the next trade because you want that money back. That didn't work for them. And eventually they go broke and they quit. It's just life. That's just how it goes. But for me in particular, psychology was an issue at first for the first year and a half, maybe 2 years. But towards the end, I did start to understand that I have to stop bringing emotions in. I have to just trade and stop worrying about what could happen and what happened yesterday, but instead stick to my same strategy and don't change a thing. Why change anything? Just stick to what you got going on. Stick to your trading strategy every day and don't change it. How can you lose? If you have a successful trading strategy, there's a lot of successful trading strategies out there, but like the one I'm going to give you, if you have a successful one and you're doing the same thing every day, you're never changing anything, you're never risking more the next day because you want more profits. How can you lose? You can't. The simple answer is you can't. So stop letting your psychology get in the way of your strategy. How do you manage a losing streak and not let it ruin your account? Again, this is the same thing. You don't let it ruin your mental, or you don't let it ruin you / your account, because you're continuously doing the same thing. Now, if you're doing the same thing every day and you just keep losing and losing, you might have to give the markets a break. That's okay. You will have a week where the markets are just not that great. It's normal. Everybody has losing streaks. Like I can pull up my signal results right now. And, last month we did, I think, 14,000 pips in the NASDAQ room or something like that. And then in the GJ room, I think we did 850 pips, something like that. And that's risking 10 pips a trade. And that's risking 1,000 pips or 250 pips a trade on NASDAQ for 1,000 pip gains or 1,500 pip gains, whatever the case may be. And I can show you guys that, we're killing it. But I can also go back and show you guys 1 week where I lost a lot. I was losing every day, but I continuously did the same thing. I still stuck to my strategy. I still used support and resistance breakouts. I still traded the same way. Nothing changed. You know what I'm trying to say? Nothing changed. That's the biggest thing about psychology or losing streaks or whatever you want to call it. The biggest thing is don't let anything change. You keep doing the same fucking thing every day. Got to get that in your guys' head. It's very important for this, man. You have got to understand that. Okay. What should beginners do that they just do? Total beginners? I don't understand the question. I don't know why it keeps doing that. Oh, I didn't head down on that one. That's why. What targets do you aim for in these ranges? When the markets range. Okay, so when the markets range, I don't recommend trading at all. Like not one bit. If it's ranging, you got consolidation, stay out of the markets. You need a beautiful volume starting market to even trade. If it doesn't start with volume and you're just not feeling it, don't trade. That's another thing you have to understand. If you guys are tired of losing, which I think you are, you have got to stop forcing trades and trades. You have got to learn. I love trading so much, but it's only Tuesday. The markets are ranging. I have to stop trading. I'll trade tomorrow. I have to stop looking at this chart right now because it's ranging and there's nothing I can do about it. Or even if you take a loss and it starts to range or you lost because of the range, don't try to get in again. Just take your loss and move on. It's okay. It's okay to lose. You don't need that money right now. You don't need to make that back. Leave it at that. You're all good. All right. Someone said, what's the best amount to start with? Now, again, this all comes down to preference. How much do you want to make? Do you want to make $1,000 a month? Well, then maybe you should have a $2,000 account. You want to make $10,000 a month? Well, then I recommend a 25 to 30K account. If you don't have that account yet, well, then you start with whatever you can start with. You compound, you put money from all these different places, your real job, side hustles. You put that money in and you get that account to where you want it while trading it and growing it. You are in control. Start with what you can. Now, if you want to make a certain percentage and you know that you've learned the strategy and it's working for you, you've back tested, you've demo traded, then put in whatever you want to put in, whatever you can to get to that percentage you want. But again, we're going for 30 to 50% a month gains on any size account, less than like 50K. Because again, if you have a 100K account, you might not make 50K a month. You might make less because you don't want to, you should never risk thousands and thousands per trade with only a 100K account. That's just common sense. With the 25K account, how many trades should you be taking per day on average? This goes to, it doesn't matter what size account you have, $1 account or $1 million account, does not change how many trades you take per day. That's not a deciding factor on how many trades you're taking. It's just not. Now, I recommend 2 to 3 trades per day when it comes to losing. So what I mean by that is if you start New York session, you take a loss, but a setup's there again. You take another loss, but the setup's there again. Maybe not take that third trade because the markets are kind of showing you it's not great. If you feel really, really good about that third trade, well, then you take it. But if you lose on that third trade and you didn't decide to stop on that second, you have got to call it quits because now you have got to get at least one win to make up for those 3 losses, or you can only lose one more time before you need 2 wins to be in the profits. That's something that goes to psychology as well. You don't want to overtrade because it is going to affect your psychology. You should just relax. And when you overtrade, you're not teaching yourself or practicing, healthy trading habits. You're not teaching yourself that it's okay to stop. You're enabling the bad side of the psychology. You have to, train yourself to understand 2 losses, markets don't look that good. I'm done. Turning my phone off, and that's it. And you leave, and it's that easy. You're done. It's really that easy. Looking at some of these questions right now, guys. Someone said, what times and pairs do you trade? Again, remember, this is recorded, so you guys will have this forever. But again, GBP JPY is traded during London session. NASDAQ is traded during New York session. 6:30 a.m. Pacific time, 9:30 Eastern time is when a lot of volume kicks in for NASDAQ. For GJ, it's 12/midnight PST or 3 a.m. Eastern time. That's when the sessions start, when the volume kicks in for each one. Okay. Here's a good one right here. Is higher time frame analysis important for scalping? Now, I am going to go over a little bit of stock trading with you guys and some indicators that work good for investing. But when it comes to scalping NASDAQ and scalping GJ, higher time frames, this is going to shock a lot of you guys, don't matter. If you watch any of my breakdowns on YouTube, any of my breakdowns in Clarity Forex app, or in the free Telegram that I just started today, you will see that I base all of my trades off of the 5-minute chart. I don't look at the higher time frames to see what's happening. Although, you can look at higher time frames to help distinguish what type of market you're in. But, you have to understand something about Forex. These markets are changing so fast and so much that if you base it off of what way you think the market's going, it's probably not going to happen. We're going to be looking at the 5-minute chart, and we're going to be basing off of market structure on only the 5-minute chart. I won't even leave that chart. Okay. So to make your answer, make a long story short, really, no, we don't look at higher time frames when it comes to trading Forex. You don't have to. And that's what's so exciting and fun about my strategy is you don't need to kill yourself mentally looking at all this random shit. We're going to go to one motherfucking time frame and kill it. All right. The strategy, will it cover all details, when to enter, when to close, and also which risk management to set up? Um, it's gonna cover everything. I'm gonna go over everything you guys are ever gonna need. Okay. Now, what I mean by that is you guys are gonna get when to enter, when to move stop loss, when to close, how much to risk. The strategy is gonna come loaded with everything you'll need, 100%. So that's definitely gonna happen. Let's see. How long does it take you to be profitable? Well, with the strategy that I'm going to give you, I do expect you guys to be profitable and actually making money with withdrawals within 1 to 3 months. Now, if you guys wanted to become profitable overnight, it's probably not going to happen. I'm going to be real with you guys, but 1 to 3 months is a very short term success story. I mean, that's amazing. Most people's success stories when it comes to Forex are years. So trust me, 1 to 3 months is amazing. Just trust me when I say that. Okay. You guys are you're gonna get what you need. And you're gonna take and do with it what you do. But some of you guys maybe aren't gonna be able to do nothing with it because your psychology, because you don't listen to me, you don't back test or pay attention. Well, that will be on you. But the ones who pay attention and do what I say, 1 to 3 months, you should have profits and withdrawals. All right. Money should be hitting your bank account. Is your mouse razor? Yes, it is. How did you deal with the pressure of feeding a family and not sure you were about to be a good father like you are right now? This is a good question. I mean, it's a lot of pressure. I can't, I don't want to sound like that guy, but I do thrive when there is pressure on me. I've always been like that, even just on the basketball court. When there's pressure, when we're losing, that's when I decide to shine. However, when it came to it, you know, it was not easy because this is different. This is not a basketball game. This is, lives. I have to feed people. I have to take care of children. You know what I mean? So it was definitely a lot of pressure. But for me, I always just thought about the brighter days, a future where my children have everything they need, a future and when and with, a future that I didn't have growing up. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, I always talk about this, but I didn't have it horrible growing up. I did struggle a little bit as an older teen because I did move out. But growing up, when I was young, I had a single mom and she had a okay paying job. We had a little tiny apartment. We did okay. I didn't struggle in the sense of I didn't eat, but I did struggle mentally. I've had a lot of mental issues my entire life from the ages of like 9, maybe even 10 and up. I've struggled with more mental issues than one human can even fathom, like unbelievable mental issues. That was hard, and that's still hard to this day. And I have everything I need, but I still struggle. But in those days, I had really bad mental issues, so that made it even harder. But I knew I had to get out of this slump. I had to make sure my kids were okay one day. I had to understand that I'm having mental issues, but my kids are not having mental issues. They just know what they see. How to get them a good life, man. So I did what I had to do, and I grinded the fuck out of it. I never stopped looking at the charts. I literally invested my entire life into the charts, and it paid off. How do you see volume and know when to trade and determine the trade direction? We're gonna go over that tomorrow. You'll know volumes there because the markets on a 5 minute chart, especially on NASDAQ, will start to go fucking nuts. Like, I mean, literally nuts. It'll go from just like boop, boop, boop to like go crazy. And that's why you got to be quick. You have got to be quick. You have got to be able to enter these trades fast. One thing I do want to leave for you guys is a live trading session that I did. It was an actual live trade. We caught 1,000 pips. I'm going to leave that for you guys as well in the room, so you guys can actually see what a live trade looks like and how it moves. It moves fast, but you guys are gonna get everything. You're gonna learn exactly how to trade. these fast moving, high volume markets, you're going to get everything you need. Okay. You'll know when volume's there, trust me, and you'll know which way it's going because it'll break through your support or your resistance. You guys will see that. Will this strategy work with pairs in the New York session? Yeah, so exactly that's what I was saying earlier. NASDAQ is traded during New York session, 6:30 a.m. Pacific, 9:30 Eastern. NASDAQ will be traded every day at that time. That's when volume picks up. I don't trade it unless we're in that time period. How long have you been trading this strategy? So I've traded other strategies in the past. When I first started, I had a very basic break and retest type strategy. I would use a little bit of moving average type strategies, and they worked. Don't get me wrong, I had gains, but 15, 20% gains is nowhere near 50% gains. I'm always adapting, I'm always leveling up. However, this strategy in particular, I have been trading for over a year now, almost 2 years, I would say. Um, and there's nothing like it. I've never been so successful. I was successful before, but compared to how successful I am now trading, nothing beats it. This has been insane. I've been making ridiculous amounts of money trading. It's just been crazy. It really has. Again, there's other strategies that work, but this strategy that I'm going to give you guys is the highest return that I've ever seen on any strategy. And that's at around 30 to 50%. And that's while risking a proper amount, having good risk management, you're still looking at 30 to 50%. That's what I love about the strategy. Let's go down to the bottom, see if there's any other ones. Hi there. The GJ breakdown is, it's not working, the video. Can you see if it works for you? So I understand a lot of you guys are dealing with the Clarity Forex app not working. We're working to fix that. However, in the meantime, I did start a free Telegram. Go to my Instagram, watch the story. There is now a free Telegram where I'm going to be posting all the same stuff from the app, but there for those who can't see it on the app. So that's up right now. You guys can access that. It's free. You're going to get free breakdowns on there all the time. So I recommend you go on there. Okay. What up? Did that message just go? Did it already disappear? Okay. No, it's weird. So I want to ask you guys, man, you guys can leave this in the Q&A so I can see it. How many of you guys have the Clarity Forex app? Let me know if it works or if it doesn't work for you when it comes to watching videos. And if there's lag or anything, that counts as not working. It's not proper. So just let me know if it's working or if it's not. You can let me know in the Q&A section. Okay. Okay. So a lot of you guys are saying it actually does work good. I only see one person who had an Android who said it didn't work. But okay, not bad. All right. Let's go to the next question. Do you teach your kids about trading? So all my kids right now, they're too young to learn about trading. I would never put them through that mentally. Our oldest is 8, and she's nowhere near ready to even learn about trading. She can understand that I'm a trader. That's how I make money. She knows that, but she'll never, understand trading at this age. Like it's gonna be probably, I'm just gonna say maybe when she's 18, 19. I don't know. I would love to teach her and teach them when they're 15, 14, but kids are going to be kids. I want them to enjoy their life, play sports, do what they want to do. For all you know, my son, any of my sons or daughters could be professional athletes, singers, actors, actresses. I don't know. Let them decide that. I'll pay the bills. Now, if they can't do anything with their life and they don't want to run one of the businesses that I get for them, wherever the case may be, and they want to learn to trade, I'm going to teach them and they can trade as much as they want. I'm not going to force anything on any of my children. They can do anything they want. I'm glad you said higher time frame does not matter when it comes on GJ, because I got your course and it says different. Most of the time I start on H4 and then go straight to 5. So my course, my scalper's rest course is outdated a little bit. Again, I've been trading the strategy for over a year. However, in the beginning, I did use higher time frames to realize which way we're going. In a span of the last 6 months or so, I've realized you don't need higher time frames, and I stopped using them, and I've had even more success. The percentages, the returns have been even higher. So it's been 6 months straight, no higher time frames. That's enough time to realize that it works. Okay, so that's one thing about the course. I am going to have an updated course very soon on the Clarity app, where I'll go over exactly how it'll be a huge course, whatever the case may be. You guys will not need it, but it'll be there. Okay. Someone said, do I go to the gym? Hell no, I don't go to the gym. I'm sure you can tell I don't go to the gym, but I'm too busy to go to the gym right now. Someone said, how do you invest your trading profits? Is there a specific app, crypto.com? So I did invest in a lot of cryptos for a while. I used Coinbase. Right now, I'm not investing in any cryptos because they've all fell. And the funny thing is, I actually took my cryptos out at like a 200% gain, and then they fell hard. So I'm very, very happy with that. When it comes to investing, I would say real estate and the stock market. Right now, I'm shorting a lot of stocks. I'm in profits right now on quite a few of them. I'm going to go over, how I do it also tomorrow. But yeah, that's kind of where I invest trading profits: real estate, myself, cars, and stocks. But that's it right there. I do want to start doing some angel investing. I do want to invest in startups. If any of you guys have any startups, like real startups that you're starting and you need equity, or not equity, I'm sorry, and you need capital, you guys can always reach out to me. I will review what you got going on. But we have I got a lot of stuff going on. I got a lot of stuff coming up too. So there's gonna be a lot of investing coming up for sure. Which I recommend you guys definitely invest when you start making money. Have you ever tried swing trading? Yes, I have. When it comes to swing trading, I fucking hate it because with swing trading, you can go 4 or 5 days instead of 10 minutes. Like when you scout, 4 to 5 days in the green, you're making money. Things look good. And in the span of one day, you can lose all those gains and it can reverse on you. Now, of course, this can happen with scalping as well, but at least it only took 20 minutes. Boo hoo, trade again. But imagine waiting 5 days to take an L. Oh my God, then you got to get back in there again. It's extremely hard to grow a small account. You're not going to grow, you're not going to catch 50% gains swing trading unless you have a shit ton of money and you're risking everything. I hate it. I hate swing trading. I hope none of you guys swing trade unless you're trading stocks and you're investing. But yeah. Yeah. All right, we're gonna do a couple more questions and we're gonna get out of here. And then tomorrow is gonna be a big day. I need all of you guys to be there live, man. Try to be there live. The recording is cool too, but I'd rather you guys be there live. We're gonna go crazy. We're gonna learn a lot. We're gonna learn seriously a lot of shit. So I really want you guys to be there for that. Let's see. This is glitching a bit. Have I ever thought about showing how to invest in real estate? I have, and I'm going to. I want to do some investment videos based upon housing market, based upon angel investing, all that good stuff. And we got a lot coming up. So, be on the lookout for all kinds of crazy content in the future. 2023, 2024 is gonna be crazy stuff, not just Forex related. What broker do you use to trade NASDAQ, and is $500 okay to start with? $500 is okay. Just don't expect to make $10,000 your first month. You're going to grow it. You're going to compound it and try to add more money along the way. For the broker I use Athens. The link is in my Instagram bio. Yes, I am an affiliate, but yes, I really do trade with them and only them. The spreads are ridiculous for one. Withdrawals are extremely fast. Never have an issue with withdrawals, which I have had in the past a lot. Super, super good leverage. I just love them, man. I just find it that I can make the most money using them. Let's see. I think that's going to be it, guys. I don't really see any more questions right now. I appreciate you guys coming in here tonight. Tomorrow's going to be a big day. I need all of you guys to be there. Like I said, we're going to be breaking down the strategy, the stock strategy. We're going to go over some secret indicators. that I've been using to help me make a lot of money with stocks and looking at higher time frames, all that good stuff. Be there tomorrow. You got to be there. I appreciate you guys. Remember, keep dedicated. Don't give up. Do not switch anything that you do. Risk the same every single day. Be consistent and just always strive to be better. Always strive, no matter how good you're doing, to be better. I love you guys, man. I'll see you guys tomorrow.